Welcome to episode 8 of the Feed Your Soul with Kim podcast. Today's topic is Clean Your Closet, Change Your Life. We look at how your closet can keep you stuck. We can have a lot of clothing that can feel like a burden and learn better ways to manage your closet and experience freedom. We will identify why you keep clothes that don't fit, learn how to get rid of clothes that don't serve you, and come away with a doable to get your closet in shape. Let's get started. This is the Feed Your Soul with Kim podcast. I'm Kim McLaughlin, and I am the host of the show. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, inspirational coach, speaker, and best-selling author. I help people feed their soul by developing functional skills to nurture themselves. This is an interesting podcast today that I want to just kind of move into. I normally talk about this topic over the spring, and right now, if you're listening to it live, we're going into the summer. But it's still a really valuable topic that I actually talk a lot about and actually have been doing it myself. So let me tell you what the topic is. The topic is called Clean Your Closet, Change Your Life. It's the idea of getting unstuck with what's in your closet. And often I'll talk about this, and I've written blogs about this around the springtime. And I think it's a topic that actually needs to be discussed more often than just the spring, because it becomes an issue whether or not it's springtime. So one of the ideas with the closet and drawers, dressers, all the kind of clothing that we have is it's really, I think, really accepted, culturally accepted in our society to have a lot of stuff and to actually buy a lot of things. It's like we got to fill the closet almost like if there's not enough stuff in the closet, we have to put more in. That kind of idea that it's a vacuum and we need to fill up that vacuum and that void. Think about all the clothes that you have and how often you buy things. And do you really need it? And I encourage you, and we'll do this as we go later on in the show, is to actually look in your closet and see what you have. Often there are things in our closet that don't fit, that are too big, too small, things that have stains on them, things that are ripped up and not really presentable where you wouldn't want to wear them outside, and items that have clothes or the tags on them where you obviously haven't used them and they're just sitting in your closet. There are items that have been there for ages that you haven't used, and I want you to just start thinking about what you have around and how is that serving you, and also think about how is it not serving you, and how might it be a burden for you that you have so many things in your closet, so many clothes that actually don't get used. I follow different bloggers, and there are some bloggers that have, it's called a capsule wardrobe, where you have like, I think 10 pieces, 10 different items, and you can wear them for, I think, 2 weeks and not wear the same type of outfit. So there's a lot of ideas out there about how to manage your closet and how to manage your clothes that I think are really pretty interesting. The other method I've been hearing a lot of in terms of cleaning out your closet is Marie Kondo. She has this amazing Netflix series that is her going into people's homes and helping them clear out their clutter. Now, she does it throughout the whole house, not just the clothing, but I got to tell you, it has been fascinating. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend you watch the show, because she goes into, you see physically her go into people's houses and help them get rid of things that don't serve them anymore. She doesn't tell anybody what to get rid of, but she has this kind of system that helps people reflect on what works for them. It's also in her book, The Magic of Tidying Up. I heard it before as the Con Marie system or the Con Marie method. And it's about getting more in touch with what do we have? What do we own? And how does it really serve us? And she uses the concept of, does it bring you joy? Does it bring you joy to have these items in your house or in your closet? So that's another method is you can do a capsule in terms of having how many pieces of clothing you need to have. Also look at Marie Kondo in terms of how to get rid of stuff. What I want you to reflect on is the clothes that you have and how the clothes that we have are really a way for us to kind of put out to the world how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about our bodies. The clothing can make us feel really good. They can make us feel really attractive and contemporary and cute. I love that word, cute. There are other types of clothes that we have that can make us feel fat, unattractive, uncomfortable, ugly, misshapen clothes, or clothes that just don't fit who we are or what we want to look like. There's also clothes that are too small, clothes that are too big, stained clothes. That's one of my areas of problem areas, is I have some clothes that are stained and I need to continually get rid of them when they have too much of a stain that I don't want them anymore, or they don't serve me anymore. Works for you and what doesn't work for you, what works in your closet and what doesn't work for you in your closet. And also think about the fit of the clothes, and do they fit you in a way that serves you, that makes you feel great? So those are some ideas to start playing with about what's going on with our clothes. I think that there's a lot of fear about getting rid of clothes and about having just clothes that are contemporary or make us feel good, make us feel fabulous. And it can also be an idea about your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself. When we have clothes that don't work for us, it can be a sign of some depression. It can be a sign of low self-esteem, low self-worth, and lack of self-love because we're not wearing what works for us. So let's get into this a little bit more. And I want you to think about the clothes that you have, because I know all the clients I've ever had talk about having clothes that are too small. It's one of our secret shames, I think, is that we have clothes that don't fit, that we actively have clothes in our closet that don't fit. If we think about having clothes in our closet that don't fit, which means we don't wear them, it's a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And it can be a reflection of how you feel about yourself. And so consider what clothes you have and how are you then thinking about yourself? How is that a reflection of you? I think about when we have clothes that are too small, that it's really a way of punishing ourselves for gaining weight. We can't get rid of them because we think it's supposed to be a motivation. So if I have clothes that don't fit right now, it's a motivation for me to lose weight. Think about that. It's a motivation. That's often what people will tell me, is that I don't get rid of them because I know I'll lose weight. It motivates me to want to be on a diet. It motivates me to want to be smaller. But it's also a sign of punishment, of really not taking care of ourselves and having things that don't feel good in our closet. So it's a punishment for gaining weight. Think about that. Clothes that are too small in your closet can be a way that you punish yourself for gaining weight. So we keep those clothes for after we lose weight, but in the meantime, they just sit in our closet, and often they're like out front and center. I know I've done that before, where I will have clothes that don't fit and I'll put it out front and center as my motivation to lose weight. Well, if that was going to work, it would have worked a long time ago, and I would be able to fit into them. But really what it does is it creates this feeling of shame within me that really makes it hard then to eat well, right? If we're feeling guilty or ashamed of ourselves. Remember, we've talked about the binge cycle, that can make us feel more like binging because we feel ashamed. I have a story. One thing I used to do was I used to have jeans that were too small. And one of the things I would do is I wouldn't acknowledge that they were too small. I would wear them anyway. And I don't know for any of you girls, I'm not sure if guys do this, but definitely I know friends who've done this where you'll get your jeans out that are literally too small. You'll lay on the bed and pull them up, shimmy them up on your body until you can get them on. And what I would do is sometimes I couldn't button them or zip them, but I kept them and I would just wear a top that was larger over the pants so you couldn't see that they weren't zipped or that they weren't buttoned. So I'd be kidding myself that I actually could fit into these clothes that were too small. I was kidding myself that they really fit. But what happened is when I would walk around, when I would sit down, I would know that they weren't buttoned. I would know that they weren't zipped. I would know that they wouldn't fit. And I would have this negative dialogue in my head about how bad I am that I can't fit into my clothes. So it was really then a negative affirmation for myself all throughout the day that would then increase more my shame for myself and how bad I felt about myself. That is not a loving behavior, to wear clothes that are too small, clothes that you can't button and that you can't zip up. That isn't comfortable. And when we look at the shame cycle, the diet binge cycle, remember it was at the circle. At the top of the circle is dieting or restricting, leads us to binge and overeat, which leads us to guilt. And the guilt leads us back to saying, I need to diet. Well, when we are in the process, when we shame ourselves on a daily basis, we're setting ourselves up to want to diet. We're setting ourselves up to want to restrict. And that's why wearing clothes that don't fit is really detrimental and can set you up to overeat when that's really not your intention. Your intention is, I think, trying to remind yourself to eat right. Or I know people say, well, I wear my skinny jeans. I wear my jeans that are too tight so that I remember not to overeat. Well, how's that working for you? And does it make you feel warm and good about yourself? And I would challenge you that it really is a negative and not a positive to do that. So really wearing clothes that are too small can be a trigger to overeat in the end. Another thing that we do is that we have clothes that we don't like how they look or feel. This is often my problem is I have clothes that fit, but that I don't like how they feel on me. I don't like the style or how they fit. I don't like the color. I don't like the cut of it. And I will generally keep them and wear them. So I will be wearing these jeans or wearing these clothes that I don't feel comfortable in. They might fit, but they don't feel good on me and they don't make me feel pretty. They don't make me feel wonderful, which is what I'm looking for. I've thought about that, and that it comes down to how much do I love myself and how much do I want to take care of myself and feel good. And what I came up with is that I wrote down, it says, it makes me wonder if I have difficulty believing I deserve pants that fit and look good and I feel comfortable in. I'm looking for all. I want clothes that fit, that I look good in, and that I feel comfortable in. Those tend to be my requirements now because I want to feel good about myself, and having clothes that reflect that goodness is really important to me. Hi everyone, this is Kim, and my book is out. Feed Your Soul, Nourish Your Life, a 6-step system to peace with food is live. I recommend you get it. It has all my 6 components of feeding your soul, as well as my own story. Pick it up now. You can find it on my website at feedyoursoulunlimited.com. Thanks. Do you resonate with this idea of cleaning your closet and changing your life? What did I call it? Clean your closet, change your life. I mean, that's a pretty profound statement that I'm saying, that by cleaning your closet, you can change your life. But it begins to resonate as we look at ourselves and how are we feeling in our body. Remember, we talked about the 6 components of feeding your soul. It starts with the physical, right? Emotional, thoughts, lifestyle, mindfulness, self-love. So many of those pieces are covered in the idea of cleaning your closet. The physical, how you physically feel in your clothes. The emotional, how we beat ourselves up about not being the right size or not wearing clothes that we think that look good on us. Lifestyle, how we move about our day and how we engage with the world. Our mindfulness, how present am I in my body if I'm feeling uncomfortable with clothes and I might not be able to breathe, or I might have this zipper sticking into me because it doesn't fit right, or a tag. That used to be my thing, the tag that would stick into me. And so I just didn't like sometimes where the tag was. I'd either have to cut it off or say, this isn't working for me. Also, the idea of self-love also is really wrapped up in clothes that we wear and clothes that we keep. I want you to consider the option that I gave you in the beginning of the Marie Kondo method from the book, The Magic of Tidying Up. Her process is really unique in terms of how do we start identifying clothes and items that we have in our life and what should we get rid of. What she says is, does this item, she takes every item, she has you take everything out of your closet, put it out, actually every clothing item out of the closet, out of the drawers, and you touch each one of them and ask yourself, does this item bring me joy? Does this item bring me joy? It's a really interesting method because there are a lot of clothes I have that don't bring me joy. And it makes me wonder, why would I keep clothes that don't bring me joy? Am I not feeling good about myself in a way that I would want to have clothes that make me feel wonderful about myself? So that's Marie Kondo's method. Another method that I like is you go through your closet and your drawer and you look at items and just say, what do I like? Often what do I like can be the things that I think look good on me, that I think are contemporary, that aren't stained, that are not needing to be mended. But what do I really like? Also, what do I really wear? Do I have items that I never wear? And why? Why would I have those? And consider asking yourself, what do I wear? And put those out front. What do I not wear? And should I keep these? Is it important to keep these? Look at what is too small. Which of the clothes that I have are just too small? They don't fit me. And also look at the clothes that are too large. Which ones are too large that I keep because I'm afraid of gaining weight and that I might need them later? Also, I think people keep clothes that are too large because sometimes they feel embarrassed in their body and want to hide how their body looks, so they keep clothes that are too large. I know that this is a difficult process, that this can be really hard to do, and it can bring up a lot of feelings. And I want to honor that for you, that this can be emotionally charged time to do it, but it's also gratifying because there's something wonderful about having everything in your closet, in your drawers, that you actually use, that fit, that you enjoy, that make you look cute, that are contemporary or the style that you like to wear. It makes your self-esteem lift. And that's what we're looking to do, is how can I feel better about myself? Because we don't want to enter into that shame cycle that leads us to diet, restrict, which leads us to binge, which leads us to feel shame. So I think of always wanting to disconnect from shame and finding ways to be honest with myself about what really works in my closet. And honesty is one of the great ways to defeat shame, is to be vulnerable, to tell the truth, especially to myself, that this works, these clothes work, and these clothes don't work. I don't care what method you use. The method I talked about, the method Marie Kondo talks about, it doesn't matter. It's just finding a method and beginning to look in your closet at what works and what doesn't work. I have a friend who does this interesting event, and I just also want to put it out to you, that she does a clothing exchange, and she invites all of her friends, even the community I think has been invited. I've seen it on Facebook, where you get together clothing that doesn't fit you or doesn't work for you anymore, size that doesn't work, color that doesn't work, style that doesn't work. And you put them together and you bring them to this party that she does. And she has a girlfriend clothing exchange. So you can exchange what you have for other things that other people have that will fit you and will make you feel good. So you can get rid of sizes that don't work for you or clothing that doesn't work for you and get what actually does work for you. I want you to consider that this process of cleaning your closet as a doable. Every week we have a doable in our podcast, and this is the one I want to challenge you with, is the doable of cleaning your closet and getting rid of things that don't work. What I think of when you do this is that you're going to feel better. And I think that's the whole purpose of this. There are lots of fears that come up with this, and I would really encourage you to journal about it. I think a lot of people have a fear of money when we talk about clothes and when we talk about getting rid of clothes that don't fit, because what people will say is, I've spent so much money on this. It's a lot of money to replace all these clothes. I'm wasting money by getting rid of these clothes. So the pain then shows up in the finances. Do you really wear them? And do you really use the clothes that you have? And that might be a greater pain point to look at the, move through the money issue and move into the idea of, I want things that fit me. Another interesting item I know someone who, what she does with this idea of clothing is she gets rid of clothes that don't fit her. But what she does is she goes to consignment centers to buy new clothes. There are times often in all of our lives where we've gained weight and don't feel comfortable at the weight we're at, but it is the weight we're at, and we need to have clothes that fit. Rather than my story of wearing jeans that I can't zip up or having a top that doesn't fit, I get clothes that fit. And one of the things she talked about is going to consignment centers. So you can get something that's really cute, but really reasonable. And so you feel like you're $1,000,000 because you got this new item new to you, and it fits and it makes you feel great about yourself. I find often with consignment centers, I will buy something that is a little bit out of my comfort zone because it's not as much money as buying it in the store. And so I feel like I can challenge myself and buy something really interesting through that consignment center. So that's another way to replace clothes, is to use the consignment center. The other thing to do, which I have done also, is sell your clothes at the consignment center. If you have clothes that don't fit, that you don't like anymore, take them to the consignment center. You might make some money on it, or get some ways to rebuy things. They'll give you credit, store credit, where you can buy something there in that store. These are a lot of options for you that I really encourage you to try. What I would love is, I would love for you to take a picture of the clothes that you're getting rid of and post it on my Instagram. I have the link in the show notes. It's Feed Your Soul Unlimited is my Instagram name. And I would love to see what you're getting rid of. I actually have just done that through my house. I've done a huge purge of clothes that I don't like, that just don't fit right. And we actually have gotten rid of other stuff in the house too. And it feels so good to get rid of things that don't work anymore. And it feels so good to have more space open. It doesn't mean I have to fill it with more stuff, but I have more space open, and that just feels good. And that's that point of self-love and self-care. Okay, so that is the doable, is to get rid of some items, some clothes, and to take a picture and post it on my Instagram. Tag me, please, because I want to see what you're doing. I want to leave you with this affirmation. I deserve clothes that fit, that feel good, and that look cute on me. I deserve clothes that fit, that feel good, and look cute on me. Let's make it a great day. I look forward to seeing what you all do. I'll be here on the podcast next week. Make it a great day. Bye. Thank you for joining us on the Feed Your Soul with Kim podcast. We come to you every Monday with fresh new ideas to help you end emotional eating and put food in its proper place as nourishment. Please be sure to subscribe to this podcast and review it and let us know what you think. Thank you for joining us.